Hi everyone, it's Arwen from Arwen's Thermomix, and today I'm making one of my favourite soups. It's spelled P-H-O, Beef Pho, so don't go saying Po, will you? You'll really get it wrong then. Anyway, this recipe is on Cookie Do, and it's in the soups collection, but there's also another version of this recipe in the Vietnamese collection, so that has not just beef but it has chicken and also pork. So I've got two thermies out because it does take a long time to make the broth, but I wanted to be able to show you two of the stages in the recipe. So of course I have put the recipe onto my Thermomix. Hi Natalie. And what I've got in here is about 1200 grams of water. I've got some other little scraps that I've popped in there as well, some of my garlic chive scraps, and I better follow the recipe, hey. So we're going to pop in our beef bones. So it's about 450 beef bones. Oh, thanks for saying good morning, Natalie. Okay, so just pop these in, and it might be a little bit over, but what you can do is ask your butcher to just chop those bones down a little bit so they can actually fit in the bowl of your Thermomix. There we go. Then it says next, so I think I might have a bit extra there. It's got the water which I've already put into the bowl, and a brown onion. Okay, so just chop it in half is fine. And what else have we got there? We've got our ginger. So it says to peel it in the recipe, but you know I don't do that. So it's just got little bits of ginger there as well. I'm actually going to put it in some leftover bits of my black garlic. So it's just the skin of my black garlic that Rita made for me actually. Just to get a little bit extra flavour. So lemongrass, I've given it a good bash and chopped it in half, and that's going to make a lot of beautiful flavour into that broth. Now we've got all the yummy spices coming up. So we've got 2 star anise, which I have on this side. I'll need to buy some more soon. Now they're a bit broken, so I'm going to pop in an extra one. And this soup is traditionally eaten at breakfast time. It's so nice. So we've got a cinnamon quill as well. It's just lovely and fragrant. Oh, that one was broken. And it's also got, let's see, some, what is that? Peppercorns, mixed peppercorns. So 1 teaspoon. Just quickly pop those in. And I don't mind making 2 of these because it's so delicious. So 3 whole cloves, I've got those here. And it's also got coriander seeds. So yum, yum, yum. There we go. And we'll press next. It's also got fennel seeds, which is really nice. 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. Beautiful. And then this is the point where we actually put it on to cook for an hour. So that's going to make a bit of a noise when I do that, so I'm just going to leave that and put that on a bit later. But you can just imagine all those beautiful aromas and flavours coming together. Hi Holly! You would have loved this soup as well, I'm sure, in Vietnam when you were there too. So after you've cooked it for an hour, in the recipe add in some lime juice, some fish sauce, which I actually brought some back from Vietnam, and some soy sauce and a little bit of extra water. And you keep cooking it for another half hour. There is one important thing missing from the Thermomix recipe, and that's a bit of sugar. So I like to use the palm sugar. I put in 2 of these, and that just balanced out the whole broth. Without that, it was missing something. So you definitely need something sweet in there to get the right balance of flavours in the broth. So here's one I prepared earlier. It doesn't look pretty, but it's going to taste amazing. And I don't know if you can actually see it because I don't want to pour it all over the bench. But what I'm going to do now is just serve you a portion of that. So I'll just get, well, you're not actually going to be eating it, sorry. I've got some noodles in the basket, so they're just going to just get warm again in the broth. And you don't have to do it in the broth, but traditionally that's what we were seeing in Vietnam on the street when they were making the pho. So I'm just going to see if I can move one of this Thermomix out of the way. I better unplug it first, so that I've got some more room for this video. Okay, so we'll just pop that one out of the way. So we've got our broth in there. We need our Thermomix lid, which is hiding somewhere. That would be good. We probably don't even need to use it actually, because it's so warm. It's just going to warm up the noodles. I've got my bowl here as well. And I'm just going to get a tongs. This was the part I wasn't ready for. So we're going to put in our noodles. So they've just heated up in the broth. Beautiful. And the broth's around about 100 degrees. We've got a wasp that's come in. So we've got our yummy noodles that go in first. There we go. So they're the rice noodles. I found some fresh ones, but you can use the dried ones and just put them in some hot water. Let's pop that to one side. Now I've made a mess all over the place. I don't know if you can see that. And we're putting in, it's actually raw beef, but by the time the hot broth hits the raw beef, and I've had that beef partially frozen, so it's easier to cut it really thin. And that's another reason why it cooks so quickly as well when you put in the warm broth. So you can probably do a bit more than that. We've also got some beautiful things that you can add to your pho. So we've got I hate cooking. Hi. And they asked, did you find you needed to add salt to everything over there? It depended. I think there's a lot of salt in the fish sauce. So yeah, it does obviously depend on your own taste, but I didn't seem to need salt very often, only a few times, and I love my salt. So we'll pop in some of these beautiful bean shoots, and then we'll put the actual broth on top, and then we can add all those other beautiful bits of fresh ingredients that you want, and then you just make it to taste. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So this broth isn't exactly traditional. I think the soy I used was quite dark, so the broth that we were able to try was quite a bit more clear than this, but this is certainly really good. And I'm going to put in all these yummy things. So hi Kath. I love chili in mine, so I'm going to be popping some fresh chili. Okay, and then you've got fresh herbs, so I've actually got some Thai basil and some Vietnamese mint. I love that as well. And I always love a bit of extra lime juice. I've got some of these beautiful garlic chives as well, so I'm making a mess everywhere. Oh, and some coriander leaves too. Yum. I'll pop some of those in. So I'll just give you a little look at that, and in a moment I'm going to be eating it, so it's a bit hard to see, I know, but I will post a photo too. So I don't think we had any other questions. So happy Thermomixing. Give this recipe a try, but please just add a little bit of sugar to the recipe to balance that broth. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Happy Thermomixing. And Kylie said good afternoon. Hi Kylie. Bye.